Hey you guys, hang on. Lord, is my poor husband. You guys, it's been one of those days, like, you have no idea. You're like, really? Because you just made the link like 3 minutes ago. I'm sorry. You guys have no idea. I'm having like dog diabetes issues. I'm having like a complete... Does it make you feel better when my life sucks? I better take some pills. I'm serious. You don't even think... I'm actually not kidding. Like my medicine, and then I was my husband, I'm like, and my medicine's worn off! I was like freaking out. Yeah. I was shrill. I'd become shrill. I'm not even lying about that. I think you guys probably believe me at this point. And like, I have to tell you, like, I love stitches. I told you that I love working with stitches. It is so much pressure. It is so much pressure. I'm not doing it after this one. I'm not doing it anymore. I can't do it. I can't take the pressure. Okay, so what is the pressure? The pressure is that, what would be funny is if this was on private and no one was even listening because you couldn't. Okay, and what would be even funnier is if my boob hung out of this, and then, actually, that would be humiliating. It actually happened in the house. It's an extra small, so I thought like I didn't have to check, and then I was in the store, and I was like, oh my god, I have a feeling this is like one of those dangerous like wardrobe malfunction shirts. Dresses, but we're having a heat wave. We're having a massive heat wave. Why did I even bring that up? I really need my medicine to kick in so that I can feel better. Because right now I feel like my mind is going to explode. Oh yeah, pressure. So it's a lot of pressure. Why is it pressure? Because it's not my natural demographic, and I think they hate me. Just to be honest with you, I think that the natural demographic for me is not straight knitters, right? You guys, I love knitters because I've been knitting since I was a little girl, and there of course are a lot of knitters that love me, but straight knitters that don't hand spin, I just don't think they get me. I think I really bother them, and some of it could be that they don't believe me, anything that I say, which I never teach about knitting, so it's not that. It's that since I have never written a book on knitting, I don't, and it's like, okay, let me just cut to this. One of the cardinal signs of a narcissist, and I'm sure people know this, is that they're impressed with titles. It doesn't even matter. The person could be like a really horrible person, but it doesn't matter. If they have a title, then the narcissist is impressed, right? So I don't have a title. So I'm not saying that knitters are, straight knitters are narcissistic, but I'm saying that I think there's this thing that's a solitary event. Knitting is a solitary event. And so typically, knitters that also hand spin, hand spinning can be very communal, right? Because you can all sit around on your wheel. I'm not saying everybody does that, but it's like, it's just a different type of person. And hand spinners typically, they don't have to have like the answer for every little, they're not like they can be in like accountant type mind, but they're not like I need to have every single thing spelled out for me and the answer to everything. Like there can be some mystery, right? And so what do I mean by mystery? Okay, like, there's plenty of hand spinners that don't care how, what gauge the yarn that they make is. They just stick a needle in it, and if it looks too loose, they'll fix it by changing needle size, right? So, they'll go up a needle. They'll like make their own patterns, right? There's just, because there's not a lot of, for like, especially art yarn, there's really not that many patterns. And if there are patterns, they're probably made by some hand spinner, and they're equally, the directions aren't super great, right? So it's just a different type of person. And because this is an art, because hand spinning, weaving, and knitting really is an art. You have to be able to have some flexibility, and you have to be able to have, in any sort of art, so in yoga they teach where you have complete control, you have absolutely no freedom, right? So that makes sense. So if I have to have everything spelled out for me, and I get to be in complete control of it because I know the exact way that this yarn works in the gauge, and I have this pattern, and I'm going to knit this pattern to exactly, I'm going to try and imitate the pattern designer's gauge. I'm just going to do it exactly as it's written. That type of person, you have no freedom whatsoever. And if you have no freedom, then problem solving is very difficult. Oh my God, I actually am on the wrong internet, you guys. Myself right now. I'm going to switch over internets. And I'm really hoping it's going to work, because if I bump you off, it's going to be bad. I have to get on the other internet. So just, you guys, keep your fingers crossed. I don't know if we're going to be bumped off, but we could be. Anyway, so you're like, we really would like you to talk about something that's interesting. Like why your life sucks. Well, my dog, I don't think actually has diabetes. Okay, so why do, because think, okay, technically there's not, she's supposed to be not producing insulin. But if I can get her to control, her own food, I can get her to only eat what I'm feeding her, which is like a glyco-balanced diet, she doesn't need insulin. But what she does is I let her out to go to the bathroom, and then she'll go and find eggs or a half-eaten chicken, like in the matter of seconds, or the other dog's food, and I catch her eating the food, and I'm like, oh my God! And then all of a sudden her blood sugar's at 517. That just happened. And then those monitors, you guys, I love this Libre thing because I can take her blood sugar constantly, but you have to be wealthy. I can't, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep using this. Because like this last monitor, I think the monitors that we figured are $60 each, and the monitors are supposed to last 14 days. I've went through 5 monitors so far, and I've only had the reader for 6 days because they fall off or they stop working. I mean, it's so frustrating. Like there's no way I can go through this. And the dog food that I need to feed her, you guys, it's like $75 for like, I thought it was like 12 cans, but Roberta said it was like 20 cans. I don't know, but anyway, it's like the Glyco Balance, the Royal Canin, and I have to feed her 4 a day. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like I can see this is like a car payment, right? I love this dog, but shit, if it's gonna cost me $1,000 a month, I gotta be honest with you. Suddenly, it's like, and she can't work. She's totally blind. And I'm a nervous wreck. I'm a completed, I'll be a little bit better with my medicine. But anyway, so like that is like, this is like wigging me out. Like right before I came, she got into, I saw her, she's like chomping on something. She found some dog food hidden under like this, just like, it's a complete and utter nightmare. And then I start feeling like, okay, so I think I told you guys this a while ago. There was this girl, her name was Nancy. God, she was taking animal science classes. And I did tell you guys this. That Nancy, she's the one that lost one of her shoes. Like anything that could go wrong with this Nancy, she always looked like her hair was on fire. That's what, I mean, literally, because there was something always happening to her. That's what I feel like when I talk to you guys. Like my hair is on fire. Always my hair is on fire because like there's so much shit going on. Which there is. Okay, but moving on from me complaining about the stress of like having to do stitches, and then I'm only doing it this one last time. Because then you worry so much that you're not going to be able to fill your classes, and then you're going to disappoint them in some way. And then once you get your classes filled, then you go there and the people are looking at you like this. Yeah, it's hard. It's really brutal. So, but the revenue is really good, and plus you always have to stay in the public eye. So there's that other thing. But anyway, I'm going to change the subject. The wedding happened this weekend, so things are a little bit better. So I am this person. Okay, if it's something that's going to humiliate me, I try to make someone else do it. Right? I know. I'm so kind. What a generous person. So usually it's Sean, because Sean, if it's Natalie being irritated or me being humiliated, he's going to pick being humiliated. What a great husband. So anyhow, the wedding photographer, one of the reasons why I charged them hardly anything, and I mean hardly anything, was so that we could get pictures. Well, it's going to take then I'm dependent on them, right? Because what if they actually don't send me the pictures? Or what if the photographer sucks? So I was like, I'm going to take my iPhone, and despite the fact that I'm not even supposed to be out here during their wedding really, because I'm not even part of this. All I do is provide the space, and if they need an extension cord, get them one, right? But I literally, wherever they were, I had my iPhone. I'm not kidding. It was embarrassing, but I didn't care, because I knew that my farm depends on having this revenue, and that I was going to totally go in front and photobomb essentially the photographer. I didn't care. If I had to go up and over her head, I'd go up and over her. I just didn't care, because I wanted to make sure that even if they never sent me the pictures, that I was going to have. Because how do you build a wedding website when you don't have any pictures of the wedding? Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So, and then inevitably there's usually it just happens. I don't know why. For some reason, there are a lot of younger women seem to really like me, and they often will try to pick me up. Because this is the sexual fluidity thing. I'm totally 1,000% heterosexual. I really am 1,000%. Not because I don't like chicks, but because I happen to like cock. That's just the way it is. And I love the way men stomp. And I love the way my husband smells. Amazing. So anyway, so she's just hammered. And she's like the cousin of she's dating the cousin for 5 years of the groom. But I guess she's like this all the time. And the bride told me later, I think she must take pills. Every time I've met her, she goes, she's always like this. Like, she's like this, and she's like, you want to party? You want to party? Party with me? Let's party. What's your name, sheep lady? I got your number in my, it's not your number. I just put a placeholder, but it says sheep lady. Pretty sheep lady, right? She's like 28 years old, right? And really, I mean, it kind of made me sad in some ways. She's like, you know, you're going to drink with me. You're going to drink Patron. You're going to take shots. Here's a shot of Patron. No, I'm serious. Like, she's like, you're not leaving until you do a shot of Patron with me. I don't do shots. Like, I am not a shot. I do not do these. So this girl, so not only am I drinking shots of Patron, I had to, because I mean, I didn't have to, but it was embarrassing because she was getting really loud. No, you have to drink a sheep lady, pretty sheep lady. You have to, no, you're going to party with me all night. And I was like, if I do one shot, will you like let go of my arm? Anyway, so the bride, not only am I like photobombing like all of her pictures so that I can get pictures and the photographer isn't in all of them, but I'm doing a shot of Patron with like one of her guests. Like, that's normally, and you guys, I was not dressed up, by the way. Like, I had mud all over oh my God, it was like I'd been working all day out there, and I was wearing, I tried to, I started looking decent in the morning, right, with a white pressed shirt and, jeans and boots, right, but by 5 o'clock in the evening, after we had a load of hay come in also that we had to offload with the forklift and the tractor. After doing all that all day, yeah, I wasn't looking so good. Anyway, but every single time that there would be like a great shot. Where's Natalie? Oh, she's right there. She's right there. So anyway, so I did got a bunch of pictures, but that's because, you guys, I literally, the thought of not having pictures and being able to build this website, because I was told the wedding season is technically, like, the height of the wedding season is over, but Temecula is a destination. It's never over here. So I wanted to be ready for next year by having a website now, right? Because I can't afford weddingwire.com at, $700 to $1,000 a month with a year subscription. She's still writing me, by the way, Alex Cutter, that's her name. Anyway, so I built it. It's just the shell. But anyway, but the hard part was coming up with the name. So I'm going to tell you the name that I picked. I bought 6 names, 5 or 6 names. One of them was Barn Farm Wedding, and I think Ranch Farm Wedding, and I don't know how those were taken, because like in Wedding Wire, it actually says barn/farm wedding. I didn't put a slash in it, just says barnfarmwedding.com. But I picked weddingonafarm.com, wedding on a farm. And you guys are like, that's the stupidest name ever. Last night when I had 6 beers, it was amazing. And then I had like 4 beers, and my husband and I were partying. And it was like bonding before we got frisky. Like, I'm like, oh my God, look at this picture. And I'm like, and he's like, oh my gosh. Because I was like, what about weddingonafarm.com? And he was like, weddingonafarm.com, that's an amazing. And when someone agrees with you and you're right, then you get really excited. And then I started like grabbing pictures, off of my phone and his phone, because of course my phone ran out of battery, and then I had to use his phone, and to take pictures, to poach pictures that night. And so I built it with that name, and then we'd pick the pictures together, and you go, oh yeah, that one's perfect. It was really fun, actually. Yeah, you guys are like, sounds like a real winner, Natalie. But then I was like, I can change the name anytime I want because I own the other names, right? And then I was like, Temecula Farm Wedding. TemeculaFarmWedding.com. You're like, how long is the name going to be? Temecula Barn and Farm Wedding with ranch and sheep on a working farm.com. You're like, wow, that has a certain ring to it. And, oh my God, the best part is because I had this tooth, my tooth saga, my 2 teeth missing saga. Because it was bothering me so much, I took the partial out, and I forgot that I did not put it in. So the entire wedding, I just had this big, vacuous area that looks like I'm on meth. Finally, when I realized that I'd done that, I said to the person I was talking to, I go, by the way, I just want you to know that I've never done meth ever. And they're like, excuse me? And I said, I just wanted to tell you that because I'm missing these teeth, and one was, I broke it on a chocolate chip cookie. Then when they tried to put a implant in it, they killed the tooth next to it. So then they pulled that one, and then I just had to tell them the whole story. And then they're like, they just walked away, and I said, no, please let me finish. I just want to finish my story. It wasn't exactly like that, but it went a little bit like that. Okay, but the last thing before I look and see and say hi to you guys is, how some people have really great luck. Don't worry, I'm not going to say it's me, by the way. There's these people, and they're obviously quite wealthy. They're paying for they're paying cash for the house that they are just put an offer in, and it's in Fallbrook, and it's got some acreage, and it's behind in a gated community. I'm guessing it's upward $800 to $1.5 million, right? So they decided, don't ask me why, they're like a little bit older than me, and from Hawaii, that they would stay in Hammy, the trailer, the trailer, right? And I don't think they've ever been in a trailer before. And of course we're having a heat wave right now, which is why I'm sweating and the makeup is like sliding off my face. And it got so hot in there yesterday. They're like, do you have because it's got air conditioning, but the air conditioner can't keep it when it's this hot. It's like 105, 110 right there. And it's metal, so it's like literally you're in an oven, right? And it's tiny, it's 18 feet long. And so we got them another air conditioner, but you can tell like they're staying for an entire month. But in that month, there happens to be one day in the middle of this month, which is on this next Saturday, where there's somebody that had booked before they booked. So they have like 2 weeks, a person, they have to move out. I have to clean it. And then they stay for another 2 weeks. And I'm like, I can't even tell you because I'm so stressed out anyway. Like the thought of having to clean, and them having to move out for one night and go to a hotel or something. And so I'm like trying to think, and then I was thinking, you know what, I'm just going to call the guy and I'm just going to be like, you know what? But you can't do that. Like if you have to get them to cancel. So I was just going to think of some story. Like I was actually going to become a liar. And I don't normally lie. I told you I can lie. I don't like to do it. But I was going to. Because I did not want these people to have to leave. And I mean, this is like, I've been thinking of how I'm going to get out of this for 3 days. Because and I'm booked in all my other places. So then I was thinking I'm just going to take my horse trailer. You're like, great, they're sleeping in the horse trailer. No, the horse trailer is actually nicer than Hammy. I mean, this is why we don't have money right here. It was $120,000. Yes, that trailer was $120,000. It's a bloomer trailer, and when I got it brand new, it's got a living quarters with a pop out, right? So it's bigger than what they're in now. And I had had like white like naga hide and like Texas stars, and like it was like all decked out like rodeo. And I'm not a rodeo girl. Like I'm a reined cow horse person, and I didn't like the whole feel of it. I wanted to be like an opium den, right? Like I wanted to be like I wanted to feel like my house. Like I put chandeliers. I know the ceiling's like not even 6 feet tall, but I put a chandelier in it. So basically, everybody has to duck that's under or over 5'5", including me, since I am over 5'5". So anyway, it looks amazing though. But watch your head. But it's got like a regular size shower, it's got the toilet. I mean, it's like not like the Hammy where the toilet and the shower are combined, right? And the guy is like 6'4", by the way. So he's in Hammy. I don't even know how he uses the bathroom, quite frankly. Anyhow, so I decided that what I would do is just take the horse trailer. Oh, I didn't finish the part where I had it all taken out and I had like velvet, and like some of the fabric in this horse trailer was like $475 a yard. Not a lie. And so it's amazing in there. Like it is amazing. So I was like, you know what I think I can do? What I can do is I can either switch them. I just have to do a few things. It's not going to be as cool of an area right now because we haven't done anything to it, but it's nicer inside. And they were totally into it. Then they saw the hay barn and were like, okay, this is where we want to be. But the hay barn, my cottages are mostly booked, right? Like, so there's really no, except during the middle of the week, but then they would have to move out on the weekends, right? So I'm just trying to troubleshoot this whole thing. Doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm coming home from my shit day from just so annoying my day. And I couldn't find anything I needed. I can't find anything, you guys. I feel like I'm like a child. I'm like, where are my clippers? I needed my dog clippers. And then I was like, where's that other monitor for Lacey? I can't find my monitor. I cannot keep track. If Roberta's listening, Roberta, did I leave my clippers in here? My dog clippers? Anyway, so I go to stop at the store. I have no money, but I have a credit card. It's almost like money, except better because you have to pay interest. Yeah. Oh. Let me write down my thing with you guys are not even going to believe I did this one. I did a big one. Okay. I have to write it down or I'll forget. And I pull in front of my house and I look and there's a message from VRBO. So VRBO is like Airbnb. And it's this lady that is staying this Saturday night, and she said they moved the horse show classes, and she needs the place not on Saturday night, but on Thursday, Friday night. Which means that this lady is going to be able to stay in Hammy because the guy that's staying in Hammy, I'm going to be able to move him to one of the cottages because now it's open. Is that so amazing? You're like, wow, Natalie, you could have done that in like 30 seconds and you drug it out for 6 minutes. Well, why do you think you're here for an hour and 15 minutes? Anyway, But I do want to tell you this. So, I'm busy building weddingonafarm.com, and I want to know if you guys think that's a stupid name. I'm busy building weddingonafarm.com, right? Last night, half crocked. Then I partied with my husband. Oh my God, it was so delicious. Oh my God, you guys. It was like heaven. Anyway. And then I wake up this morning and I, do all the chores because my kids are at Aunt Jenny's. And so I don't have my minions helping me. So I have to get up and like do, oh my God, you guys have no idea how much. 6 chickens died in this heat. I told Mother Nature, you're not so nice now, are you? Not so nice. They have fans on them. Anyway, and I decide at like, I have to go to the doctor. I decide at 12:30 that I'm going to look at my phone. I look at my phone and there's a message from Truck Montana, which means my backhaul to Montana, that didn't tell me they were going, that says, we're here in Montana to pick up the hay and you haven't paid the guy. Well, you might want to tell me you've left, because nobody told me that they were going. And the last 2 times they said they were going, they didn't go for 2 more weeks. You guys, like, I screamed. Because first, one, I need the hay. Yes, I just got some hay in, but they made 2 backhauls to Montana. They said they were going to do them back to back, but they never does something always comes up and it ends up being delayed. So I'm just waiting for them to say, we're leaving now. And when they leave now, I can just make a wire transfer, right? So the guy has it, and the next day it'll be in his account. He can see it. It's no big deal. It's going to take the guy a couple days to get there. So the guy will have his money, right? And we're talking about 23 tons of hay, 23 tons of hay. So, and plus financially, that's really hard on me because I just had to pay for 23 tons of hay. Now I have to pay for 23 more tons plus the $1,400 hauling fee. You guys, like, I can't even tell you, like, I'm losing my shit right now over it. But anyway, so I look at it and I scream, like, out loud, as if anybody cares, because there's nobody in there but me and the dogs, right? So then I see the next message that's from Straight Alfalfa, Montana, which is the guy that I'm supposed to pay. And he's like, the truck is here and I haven't been paid. Oh my God, you guys. I can't even tell you. I like screamed again. So then I write the trucking guy and I say, oh my God, you guys didn't tell me. And the last 2 times you went, you didn't go when you were supposed to go. Nobody told me he was leaving. And he goes, don't worry, that's okay. I've already wired him the money. The trucking company paid him for me because they wanted the backhaul. I know. So that one worked out. That worked out. But then he's a weird dude. He did do me a solid. But I said, well, how much did you pay? He goes, $2,200. I go, well, I paid him extra. I was thinking out loud. I wasn't meaning that I wasn't going to pay him the $2,200, because let me tell you, that's what you have to do. Like the guy paid it for me. So even if I didn't want the hay, like let's say I actually didn't want the hay, but I didn't communicate that to the guy, I still would have paid for it because I didn't communicate it to him. He didn't know. The last time he heard, I wanted the hay. I did want the hay, so it's okay. But he didn't know I had paid too much last time, so he gave him the $2,200, which, I'm not going to give him $1,800 and then have the guy have to refund. I mean, no, I'm going to pay him the $2,200. But he's like, I could be out. And I was like, you're not going to be out anything because I'm paying you the $2,230 because there was a $30 wire transfer fee. I was like, you're going to get the $2,230. Would you like it in a check, or would you like me to pay cash when the driver gets there? And then, then everything calms down. Like, people are just so, because I know that a lot of people that hang out with me here are older. And remember the days where you didn't have to worry about fraud? Remember those days? That's not the way it is anymore. It's like really and it's sad. It's so sad because there's so much unnecessary freaking out. Like, he freaked out so hard because he thought maybe I wasn't going to pay him, right? He has my credit card number, right? My Capital One card. So, I mean, he's going to get paid. And he wouldn't deliver my hay, right? I mean, it's just that simple, right? So, but still, it's just so sad that, your word doesn't mean anything anymore. It really is. There's a lot of freaking out, even over the orders that I screw up. The people that don't know me, they not so much anymore. But when I first, I want to say, now I'm well known enough that, I'm sure someone will talk to someone and go, Natalie didn't send me my order. Oh my God, I don't have my PayPal. It says a label's been generated, but it hasn't been shipped. And then someone will say, don't worry, Natalie will make it right. But for years that didn't happen, and I still made mistakes, right? And I mean, for God's sake, I still can't find my clipper. I can't find anything, you guys. So I do shit like, oh my God, I've got a big one on that one. Like, I literally like it was during Christmas and it was a bunch of long lots. It was like a pre-order, and I somehow threw something over an entire black bag full of people's orders. Like there were, I can't even tell you how many orders, a lot of money in there, probably like $800 worth of orders in there. And then people were writing me going, I'm not getting my order. I'm like, oh, and I contacted the postal service, and they're like, oh, you know, that happens. And none of them were scanned, but it said label generator. They're like, yeah, it just happens. It's a really bad time. And I said, then I said, just give it another week. Nothing. So the week went by, and you know, they obviously didn't get their packages. So I had to re-download all those labels, and I ended up shipping everybody new orders. And then like it was like a month or two later, like a month or two. It might have been 2 months later. I was like cleaning, and I found this bag, black, huge, humongous duffel bag, full of all of these orders, and it was their stuff. And I sent it to them, and for free, obviously, because I was like, oh my God, I found all your orders. And people were like, most people wouldn't have admitted that you actually did find them, but I said, well, now you guys are lucky, because now you got a bunch of free stuff. Everybody that bought from me ended up getting a free order, because I had already, but anyway, but people, my point being, that used to be where if people, like something would happen, like they would get super aggressive, like because they thought that they better like shame you and make you afraid, you know, because that way they don't have to argue with you. You'll just do whatever they want. But I'm going to do whatever they want anyway, because if I make a mistake, I'm gonna. You don't have to fight with me. Like there's no fight. I don't have any fight about that. It's got to be. It's like Nordstrom's. You don't like it, I'll refund your money. Don't worry about it. You know, I make a mistake, I'm gonna make it right. Like that's just the way it is. But a lot of people, you know, are not like that, unfortunately. But I have to be, because I make so many mistakes. That's the only way you're gonna keep your business, right? You can never like double down. You're like, could the medicine please kick in? Yeah, I think I might have to take more. Anyway, you guys, thank you for being here, because you guys are like, yeah. Could we all get paid, because all you do is complain and bitch and moan? I know. It's just one of my charming traits. Okay, Jacinda and Shannon. Shannon, did you see I refunded $17 because I could only find, I thought I had a whole nother package that looks exactly like it, but it's merino. So anyway, I refunded your money on one of the. Okay, wait, let me go up to the top. Okay, Samantha Vincent. Oh, thank you, Samantha. I was going to be like, are you talking to somebody else? She said I looked cute. I actually don't think I looked cute, but thank you. It looks like you guys, I don't want to, my legs are so skinny, but I don't know if you can see, but it looks like I'm wearing nothing under this, which would be really, it's silk, but it was really cheap. It was like, I think it was like $8, but I'm wearing shorts underneath, but it doesn't look like it. Oh wait, this isn't the camera, let me just move my screen and then you can see. But anyway, it's like, it totally looks like I'm naked. I'm not. Baby, I ain't naked. No, I'm not. Okay. Let's see. Shannon Graber and Heather. Oh, hey, lady. Oh, thank you. Okay, so this was a good $8 purchase at Ross. And then Shannon says we're going to be 91 in Washington. Kimberly Ellis, Nova Scotia, Canada. And let's see. You guys, I still can't believe I moved my computer screen thinking you were going to be able to see better. Let's see. Jacinda. I know, Jacinda, that was me. And Jacinda, you don't understand. At 517 blood sugar, she just starts urinating all over my house. You're like, you should have, you're like, it's my fault. I already know. Okay, and then Samantha says she's not a knitter. She's way too willy-nilly. Linda, hello, and I look marvelous. God, I actually, like, this is my makeup smear. It's from this today. Like, I usually, like, try to, like, I take a shower. You're like, really, you take a shower? Wow, Natalie. I usually take a shower right before this. This time I didn't, because I was at the doctor's, which I know you're gonna love to hear this story, but I'm gonna tell you this one too. It cost me $400. Let's put it that way. Okay, and then Shannon says my daughter's cat was that way, but cats can get type 2 diabetes. Dogs, unless I read it wrong, dogs don't have type 2 diabetes, but that's kind of how she's displaying. Like her food is affecting her blood sugar, and it's ridiculous. Like I had her for 2 days, she didn't need insulin. She was at like between 117 and like maybe 155 for 2 days. And now she's once again all over the place like a ping pong ball. Ping pong ball? I don't know. Okay, and then Jacinta. Hi, Natalie from Florida. I love Florida, gators and all. And Mary Wildflower, such a great name, Mary Wildflower. Hello from Texas. Hello from California. And then Valerie, hello from Pennsylvania. And Carrie D, hi Natalie, from Australia. Okay, I think was it last week? No, it wasn't last week, or it was one of the weeks, because I think that I have. See, I lived on the North Island when I was little in New Zealand, and so sometimes I do it to my kids all the time. Like, I'll just start speaking with this accent that's kind of like, it could be South African, but then sometimes it doesn't sound that like that. So then sometimes it sounds like it could be English, but I just pretend like I'm from another country, and that my children are from the United States. And everybody's like, where are you from? And I was like, well, I spend most of my life in the United States. And then I tell them that like 55 years of my life was in the United States, but that I was very impressionable in the years that I was not in the United States, which is a total lie, right? And then I tell them that I started going through this thing where, like, my father was from South Africa, and then my mother was from England, and then I lived in Hong Kong, and so then I had a Hong Kong accent. I just go on. And then my children are like fogging over, being like, why are you doing this? Do you have some personalities? And I'm like, I'm just having a bit of fun. Just let me do it, damn it. And they do. Okay. Carrie D. Oh, did I say you? I already did, but I'm going to say you again. Bye, baby. Okay, and then Sabi 7 Ranch. I have to feed Royal Canin, but limited ingredients since Cash became allergic to chicken. I actually have heard of another dog that was allergic to chicken. Can you imagine? I mean, who's allergic to chicken? I do know another one, though. Darlene, hello. And Christine. And Dirt Patch Heaven. Oh, my God. Everything looks so bright and colorful. Hello. Dirt Patch Heaven. You guys have to check out her YouTube channel, because she does a lot of homesteading stuff, but you guys, you're going to be so proud of me, because I have my garden, which should put pictures of it up, huh? Because it's looking mighty good. My above ground garden is looking really good, which I'm going to have to remember to actually water it tonight. Because here you have to water like 3 times a day. BB, hello from Portland, Oregon. Love the top. Thank you. It's actually it could be a top, but I'm wearing it as a dress. You're like, wow, that is ballsy at 50, almost 7, to wear a mini top that you're wearing as a dress. Yes, I am. And then Kenneth Marshall, hello from Texas. I love Texans. Let's see. And then Shannon has a new sweater. I won't fly. A sweater. And finally set up a channel so I can chat. Thank God. You guys, yeah, so if you have to, like, I think you have to have, it's best with a Gmail, but you have to, like, log in so you can chat. Otherwise, like, you're an outsider looking in. I don't know. I love that I can chat with you guys. It's like, it's like the fun. Like, how fun. It would not be fun if I couldn't see what you were saying and, like, talk to you. Right? I mean, it would be silly. Like, just talking to a camera. And let's see, Tracy Gardner, Soap Lake, Washington. Diana. I'm so glad you're here. And let's see, oh, Ms. Dahlia, and she from Texas. And then Allison Blair, Ike. You guys have to subscribe to Ike's Equines, or he will hunt you down. 6 beers makes everything sound like a good idea. No kidding, huh? So I'm just guessing you guys didn't like the name. Come on, you guys, let's just think of it. No, because like, what was my farm? What was it named? Wait a second. Wedding on a Farm. Because what? Okay, why did I name it that? Because, like, if I was like, I put in farm wedding or wedding on a farm, or like, that's what I would do. Like, you know, when you're Googling, I would be like wedding on a farm, farm wedding, barn farm wedding, like all of those, right? And I can redirect like barn farm wedding to like wedding on a farm. The thing that's really cool about weddingonafarm.com is that the font, because I just used one of their templates, and the font is super cute. It looks so cute, you guys. It might not look cute now because I was messing with it right before I stopped, and I don't know if I saved it, which means, and it's online, so it might be like half done, like look, but it was like looking really, you're like, okay, stop saying how amazing your stuff looks. I don't know that it's amazing. I think it does. Sean says it does anyway. But I mean, it's one of the pictures that is really cute. And I wish that it was turned around, but I was behind the sign. One of my roosters looks like he's reading one of the signs. You're like, wow, Natalie, that's stupid. Well, if there were people in the background that looked like they were wedding, it would look really great. I'm going to use it anyway. I'm not exactly sure for what, because it doesn't look like you're at a wedding, because it just looks like he's reading a sign. But one of the pictures I really like is like the bridesmaids are standing in the barn door, and then it looks like the groom is trying to close the doors, and he's like really over animated in it. And they're a cute couple. They were a cute couple. I was like, thank God you're not ugly. Just totally kidding. You're like, oh, so you play that way, huh? No, I wouldn't have cared. I was just looking for, if I had to stuff Jade into my wedding dress and put her size 4 foot into my size 9 shoes so that I could take photos that looked like we were at a wedding, maybe I would have done it. I would have put a little bow around Scrappy's neck with a little ring hanging off of it, like he was the ring bearer. I almost said pole bearer. Like he was the pole bearer. I would have done it. I would have. Okay. Let's sigh. Okay. Poseidon soap. There's no way. My stories, honestly, I think it just seems like I am a white hot mess. I didn't say red hot because white hot is worse. Jacinda. I have more Airbnb stories, you guys, and this one's a humdinger. Let's see. Good name. Okay, good. You guys don't hate it, because I wouldn't you just like because I'm just assuming that a lot of people have never been married on a farm before, so I might conceivably put in like what's a wedding on a farm like? Wedding on a farm, like what do people do? Like what comes up on Pinterest? Like that's really what I would do. You're like you're not very bright. I would do that. I mean, I use usually a variety of like searches to figure out things. It's not just like what I want. Like if I want a farm wedding, I put farm wedding, but I would also put wedding on a farm. Like, you know, so like maybe there's a blogger that's going to tell you about like some of the idiosyncrasies and the things that, you know, you should do differently or could do differently, which brings me to, even though I have zero money, I am so flat broke right now. But I was thinking about asking that girl if I pay her, like, you know, because they were like, talk about low budget. I'm not shitting you. I don't even know how it looked good, but it did. But she made her dresses. She made her bridesmaids' dresses. She crocheted them. And she, hers has like a part where she crocheted it and then attached, like, I don't know, some silk satin or something to it. But she bought all of her flowers at the flower district, and she made everything was made. We have a bar, you know, a small bar that I bought, I told you on OfferUp, and then they used our barbecue. And okay, just for everybody that just want you to know, so I bought this really amazing Jenner barbecue on Craigslist for $200. It's so nice. Like, it's so nice. It probably was like $1,500. You're like, last time you told the story, it was $1,200. Well, it could have been $1,500. And anyway, but it's for natural gas, and it says you can't convert them. So I just kept doing my searches to switch it over. There's some guy that was on there, a thread saying, I bought a natural gas barbecue, can I retrofit it somehow? And everybody's like, no, can't be done. I even called the company, I can't be done. And some guy is like, yes, it can be done, give me a call. Well, guess who called him? Me. And he's like, he owns a barbecue store, and he actually makes these retrofitted things that and your natural gas barbecue will work. And so I had the fittings, but we hadn't put them on. And I said, well, their barbecue, they were renting everything. The regulator didn't work, and I have a regulator that on something else, and I gave it to them to work, but it wasn't big enough anyway. And so I was like, you can, if you want to put it together, you can. It's a really great barbecue that I've never used before, but believe me, it's great. Anyway, so he put it together, and it worked amazing. So it does work. So if you ever hear, you can do it. You just have to go to this guy in Florida, and he will ship you the parts for like $20. Yes. Anyway, I don't know what I would. Oh yeah, cheap. So like everything, like they had boxed wine, but it actually looked. The only thing that they had that actually was kind of looked, you know, kind of more upscale would be Patron. They had one bottle of Patron. They were gifted. The photographer was a person that is in the military that wants to be a photographer, and actually did a pretty good job. I mean, from what I could see her monitor, and it looked really good. She did really good lighting, and I know where the best lighting, believe me, is on this farm because I've taken so many pictures here. And then the guy that was the cook did the barbecue. He did it as that was his wedding present to them, to cook for the 57 or 62 people. I mean, it was like seriously. And I only charged them. I thought I charged them $750, but I charged them $650, and we had to pump the septic. They had to pump the septic, which was $300. So it was like that's all they paid. Why? Oh, but she should do a blog. If I like offer her like, you know, I don't know, $50 or $75 to just write a blog post about it for this, because then it can tell people like, you guys are like, wow, just yawn. I made like roughly $650 off something that I should have charged them $7,000 for. And it only cost me like, guys have no idea how much it cost me because I had to like get the place ready. But now it's ready. We're ready and open for business. You're like so glad this story is finished. Okay, Airbnb. The one thing that they did do is they did not close at night the doors, and it is midge season. The midges, you guys. Oh, and people were coming. Okay, so they only rented the one cottage for 2 days. When I went in there, the whole ceiling was just full of bugs, and there was somebody coming in 2 hours for 2 days. I literally lost my shit because I have velvet in there, and like not pretend velvet, like silk rayon velvet, like velvet, and really expensive shit. And these people are coming, there's no earthly way to get rid of this many things. I tried to, like, I went in and tried to use, like, I know you're going to think this is very healthy. When the people die of cancer, please don't tell them. But I went in with Raid and tried to use that. That wasn't killing him fast enough. But I have these things, I know you guys have seen them if you have a farm, where they're, like, every 15 minutes it pushes down and it sends out, like, an insecticide, and I put them above our doors so that they fly, you know, so every 15 minutes it shoots out, and then every time you open the door there's not a million flies on the door. I just took that in there and just started spraying, and they were just like falling. Spiders were falling, flies were falling, gnats. There were thousands of them. I was almost in tears. It took Sean and I about an hour and a half to get them down to where it just looked like our walls had fly poop on them. Because that's what it looks like. They're little tiny dots, tiny little midges. I was just fit to be tied. And then what we told the people, because knowing that what was going to happen was, since they were staying for 2 days, yes, a bunch died, thousands died, but you know the next morning, thousands more are going to die. So people are going to see like all these bugs on their windowsill. So I just explained to them that, you know, I just told them the truth. This is midge. There were midges. I didn't even know we had midges, and that we've been cleaning for, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours to try to get them. And it was just, and they're probably going to find them, and I'm really apologetic. And then the next day, the septic guy came, and then I was like, can we get in your place just to make sure that there's no backflow in your toilet? Because the septic guy's here. I'm like, wow, life on a farm's a lot of fun when you pay $200 a night, huh? It's really like, I'm just like, wow. It's very stressful. And I was telling him how I love when like Orange County people come, or like really wealthy people that are like, yeah, we have this extra room in our 5,000 square foot house, and we were thinking, why don't we just rent out the other wing, because we don't use it, and we could just make Airbnbs out of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. You should really do that. Do it. No, I think you should. You'll love it. The call, you know, when you're in the middle of having sex and you're hammered, and they're like, our toilet's clogged, and then you go out there and it's actually not clogged. It's because the septic system is overloaded and the septic guy can't come tonight. And you're like, yeah, you really clogged it. Like, you have to be much more careful with your toilet paper. I'm not sure, like, our septic was just pumped. It's just the way that you use toilet paper. We're like a one sheet person for a number one. Then we bring out the whiteboard and we show them number one, and then we show them like one, and then we're like, yeah, I don't do that. I do blame them. I mean, sometimes you just have to blame the other guy. Yes, I do. I do blame them. I do. Sometimes I can't take responsibility when I know it's going to cost me, like, it's $200. I'm going to have to give their money back. Actually, I've given a lot of people their money back. Like, if I think they're not happy, I'm just like, here, take your money back. Okay, moving on. Oh, Susan Copas. You made it. Hi. Well, you missed a lot of just minutia that you wouldn't have cared about anyway. And Liz Rose, and Wedding on a Farm. You like it. And oh my God, Dirtpatch Heaven, you love weddingonafarm.com. Thank you so much. Elon, great name. People will pay you to list their farm on that site in the future. Okay, I planned 5 weddings and definitely use both of those words in a search engine. Thank you. Does it matter that you are across the pond? Is that the right term? Across the pond? You're like, you mean ocean? Yes. You mean like continent? No, continent. No. I actually was stupidly thinking that the other day. I was like, wait, continent? I actually was like, not like incontinent. No. Guys, please, for God's sake. That's hopefully not ever. Let me move on, because I'm not even funny at this point. You guys are like, hang on. I think I hit it too. Okay, wait, whoa. Oh, Mary Wildflower wants the blending board. It's right here. You know what? She took it out for me. She, meaning Roberta, who I love. Roberta, I love her so much. I love her so much. I do. She She was here, when she was here when I was doing the bugs. She came by, she was in Temecula for something, and she stopped by to help organize for the sale this weekend. Don't forget, because I'm broke. Really, I'm serious. And I was so worried because I hadn't attended to her, but I was taking forever in there because it was taking so long. And I was like, sweat, and I don't even sweat that much. I probably just rubbed oil on my face to look like I was sweating, and then said, oh my God, look, I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted. And then I slammed bugs on it. I was like, look what happened. But I was just really having sex with my husband in the bathroom. It didn't happen. But anyway, and she was just like, I'm just amusing myself cleaning. And I was like, oh my God, what a great friend. She is a great friend. But she has your stuff right there. Oh, honey. There's like, I only took one sip. They won't let me, they just make me talk. Blame the other guy. Let's see. And then Shannon was saying, I just want to say this because she was saying about the dog. This is actually important to me. He wasn't overweight. His food was causing it also. And my dog was not overweight. The food is causing it. And then Andrea likes wedding on a farm. And then Carolyn. Hello from Northern Michigan. Hello from sunny Southern California. Sweltering Southern California. Wait, okay. Did I say hi to So Girl? I hope so. And then Spins Good Yarn. Did I say Western Pennsylvania? I can't even remember. You guys, if I said your name, I'm sorry. If I didn't, I'm even more sorry. And then Deanna and Mountains of Southern Utah. Love Utah with the red dirt. I almost said Deanna again. Hi, Deanna. And then I'm like, I think I just said that. Okay. And then BB's like, girl, you rock it. I'm raucous. I have to go to Ready Method. There's a picture. Okay, I'll look. And then everybody loves Dirt Pat Chevin. And Tiffany, wait, Darlene. Hey, Natalie, that's my daughter, Tiffany. Tiffany, which one is your daughter? And then Spins a Good Yarn. I never get to watch live because we go to bed with the chickens because my husband goes to work at 5:30 a.m. My husband goes to work at 12 o'clock a.m. And our chickens, if he went to bed with our chickens don't, my roosters don't sleep. They really don't. Little bastards. And then Diana says, I agree. That's what I would type in the search engine. And friggin' natural goods. Hello from Rhode Island. Love all your vlogs. Thank you so much. There is one person that always hates them. I'm like, why even bother? Okay. And then Savi7 Ranch says we have a big green egg. I want to get one so bad for my husband. Wedding planners are always looking for good locations. Yes, they is. And one did scout me out a really long time ago. And like a year ago. And I was like, my mistake was saying, yeah. She was like, do you want to have a phone meeting? And I was like, why didn't you come by? And then she was like, never contacted me again. And I was like, oh, apparently you don't want to come by. But why even talk? Like, just come by. Like, we live in the same area. I think it's better. But see, this is the thing. My thought process is this. Because if you put Temecula wedding, okay, they said that 47% of the people are from Temecula, or doing a search engine are in the Temecula area, right? So if that's true, then my website should come up with no problem because all my keywords are there. Like it says, wedding, farm wedding in the heart of Temecula Valley's wine country or something like that. So it's like all the keywords are there that somebody, if they want a farm wedding or a barn wedding in Temecula, it should be, and so I see some places come up before Wedding Wire, meaning some event places. And they're not even big. I've never even heard of some of them. But it's because they're in Temecula, and I think it's just the way it is. Like Wedding Wire, people are searching for everywhere. It goes across the United States. And, but I don't care about the rest of the United States. I care about people that want to have a wedding in Temecula. That's what I'm thinking. And let's see. And then Patricia Walton, she's in visiting her granddaughter in Encino and enjoying the heat. Nod. No, this is bad. This is a humdinger. And then Shannon says she has those things that I have, and they are great fly spray. And then if you have a place to park an RV, no hookups needed, you may want to consider becoming part of Harvest Host. Savvy7 Ranch, do I love you a lot right now? Thank you, because I have to make money. You guys have I know I see this every week, but this week, like the amount of money that has went out this week. Oh, and I love my daughter. I really I wanted to throttle her. I got shrill. It's not the first time I've gotten shrill. I get shrill a lot. I actually said to her, and it's really hard when you have a dead child, to say to one of your other children, basically, get the fuck out of my house. But basically, that's really what I want to say to her, because she's like this prima donna. I actually said to her, I just want to check with you. Do you actually think that your dad and I are that stupid that every day that you have to go to work, because nobody goes to work 14 days in a week, because there aren't 14 days in a week. And every time I say, gee, Jade, can you help me today? Oh, I got to go to work. So do you think that we actually believe you? And do you also think that we actually believe that you haven't been paid yet? Because I'm letting you know that's not the reality. The reality is you're almost 18. You're going to be 18 on the 29th. And then, quite frankly, my dear, go figure out what it's like to pay for everything yourself, because she's like, my back tire's flat. I need 2 back tires. Oh, and by the way, my phone's broken and I need an iPhone. What is it? The XR? I have an iPhone 8. So the XR is above that, or XS, or whatever it is. I'm like, why can't you have an X? Why can't you just have an 8 like we have? I mean, as if I, like, literally, I'm not kidding you. I said, you know, you always complain about Connery and how Connery is a bum. My 28-year-old who's in recovery. I said, the one thing I'll say about Connery is he works. He gets off work, digging pipeline, and he comes here and he works. In this heat, he'll work for like 2 or 3 more hours. He doesn't give me a lot of money. That is true. But I will tell you, he works. And so I look at her and I'm like, and you, I can't even get you to clean your room. I can't even get you to bring your dirty clothes down. What she does is bring her dirty clothes down and just, I mean, she did it today. And I was almost done with the laundry. Oh no, now I have like 4 or 5 more loads. But they don't actually even put their clothes away. What they do is they stack their clothes, and then instead of putting them away, they wait as if they've worn them, and then they grab them all up and then throw them back into their dirty clothes. Yeah, I know. But I'm not partaking anymore. Like, I'm just not. I actually became really, I was not nice. I was just like, basically, the door is right there. And you know what? There's no like crying to Child Protective Services. There's no crying. I have no, you have, your currency is all used up because you're almost 18. So I'm just, she drives a Mercedes, you guys. So, yeah, granted, it's a little 250, like so it's not, wasn't expensive. It was like 28,000. You guys are like, well, that's a lot. I mean, it, in the scheme of things, I just thought it was a safe car, and it was like, you know, a couple years old, and I did have a warranty still on it. So I was thinking it was, and that was before I realized we were broke, by the way. I also thought that my husband had money. So I wouldn't do that now. I wouldn't have even bought her a car. But anyway, and I said, you know, the door's right there. However, you can't use your car to get out of the gates unless you are going to pay for your insurance. Now let's find out if you need an iPhone X. I mean, even your tires. And then, you know what I just found when she brought all of her shit down? One of her clothes had tags on it. From the store. Recently. I'm like, that's nice. Right, so the paychecks that, I'm telling you, man, these kids, she's a grifter, man, that one. She is a grifter. I don't know, you know, there's just, you can't, I used to think that, you know, I don't know. I think that parents, remember when our kids were young and like all the soccer moms and stuff would be so proud of their kids, or like, let's say they're like, you know, 2 and they're talking earlier, they're doing calculus at 2, because some kids do that now. They're potty trained at 6 months, you know, that kind of stuff. And parents are bragging about them, and then you're like, wow, that's crazy, because I just have a regular kid, right? Well, if you're going to take responsibility and that you're so great that you have, from your gene pool, have manifested this amazing child, you don't get to only take credit for them being potty trained at 6 months and getting, you know, doing calculus at 3. You're also going to have to take responsibility for the shits that they turn out to be. Right? I don't take responsibility for any of it. Like, I just am like, I do the best that I can as a parent. I really do. I do the best that I can as a parent. I try to teach them values, which is very hard in this day and age because you have the rest of the world is telling them the opposite, like entitlement, right? And here I try to teach them there's no entitlement, baby. You better start working, right? Get your ass up and start doing shit, because there's no free rides in life, right? And you do the best you can, and then they turn out the way they turn out, and but I used to feel really bad, like it's a genetic failure. I'm a genetic failure, and then I'm a failure also, you know, in my nurture, apparently. And even though I nursed them probably too long, they were only 10. Just kidding. Oh, you're on a roll. I've just decided that I'm not taking responsibility for any of it because they are individuals. At some point, they become individuals, right? And so, and then I see parents, that overly coddle their kids and that they're spoiled, rotten brats. But then they turn out to be amazing. Like, you meet them as adults and the kids are just fine. And like, I'm perplexed by that. I'm perplexed. I'm like, wait a minute. I made my kids have good manners and stuff, and they all turned out crappy. Oh well. I just have to purge it. I've got to focus on things like my dog urinating all over my house right now and her blood sugar being off the chain and her blood sugar syrup. You're like, wow, your priorities are really messed up. Probably. I'll just have another beer. Thank you. I think we need to talk about something that's not as depressing as my children, please. I actually love my kids. They're amazing, but she is a grifter. Moving on. Okay. You guys are like, wow. Hi, Gail. Gail knows. Gail knows. I love you, Gail. Gail, you're my girl. Knuckles, baby. You're like, wow. I'm going to do this. Wait, I'm going to harvest host. I have to remember that. And let's see. I used to live on Pendleton. And wait, I just moved it. Wait. Whoa. Oh, Linda. Linda's like, could you please talk about, you guys, I accidentally hit this thing. Okay, here. Linda, please don't make me talk about fiber. I will. Because you're here. Poseidon Soap is my daughter, Tiffany. She is going to send me a package. Please do. I could always use soap. I love the smell of Nag Champa, otherwise known as patchouli, which is also not otherwise known as cat urine. So apparently I like the smell of cat urine. Let's see. They're talking about, let's see, 34355. Yes, Darlene. 34355, J. Portola. Oh, Teresa Wiedemeyer. Hi, Teresa. And Liz Rose. And then Samantha said, when I was her age, I worked 3 jobs, so I was always at work, but my parents made me pay for everything. Yes. My problem is that peeling the paycheck out of her fingers. Oh, Linda, you sent an important instant message. When you say important, you got me nervous. I'm being arrested. What? Okay. I'd make her do her own laundry. Yes. There's an idea, but I have a feeling it's not going to get done. You're like, that's not your problem. And then Teresa says that she makes her son pay for everything. Life is not a free ride. No, it is not. And then Carolyn says, I had to pay my parents' rent after I graduated. Yes. And then Linda's like, stop doing her laundry. Okay, so my husband got infuriated because I do Connery's laundry. And the reason why I do Connery's laundry is because I have had him do his laundry, and I don't care how many times I've told him, do not put any of my clothes in with your laundry because your clothes stink and I cannot get the smell out of my clothes. I don't care how many times I've told him, my clothes end up with his clothes, or Sean's clothes end up with, and once they've been infected and permeated with that smell, you cannot get it out. I even put Febreze in the in like odor killer and Febreze in like where it would be, I guess, the fabric softener. Yes. Sometimes I even put a tiny bit of bleach in with his colors because I can't. The smell is so outrageous. You cannot get the smell out of the fabric. It's like they say that about pig farms. If you walk through a pig barn on a pig farm, your clothes are toast. Wash your clothes with Connery's. I'm telling you, there's no going back. You're gonna have to get rid of them. It's true. Let's see, and then Samantha's saying she appreciates her parents for doing that, and then Linda's right on there, and then she is old enough, you guys. She is old enough. Oh my God, Darlene says, my daughter is my boss. I work for her and she's a wonder. Okay, are you rubbing my nose in it? Damn it. Some people have good kids. Mine are good. I have hope for the last 2. I do. I have hope for the last 2. I don't know. Roni's like worrying me a little bit, but that's all right. We'll see what happens. And then Diana says, you're right. You're not responsible for the decisions. I think at some point, I don't know what age that is. And like we had, they were overly, I will say this, when things were really good, like monetarily, we lived like most Southern California people lived. Like my one daughter had like elephants at her, real elephants at her birthday party. I mean, like they were all dressed up in the garb with the, and they got to, it was, yeah, like serious. So that was kind of the way. That was before 2008. And so they had a really good, and then it was like like falling from a 27-story building, like from like everything's great to everything is really bad. I think the sale, my sale I think is on Saturday, just to let you know. Please tell me I didn't make a mistake, you guys. God dang it. Unless it's someone else's cell. But my cell's on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'm like, Pacific Daylight Time. Like, I can't read. I wasn't reading. It was my brain. I was reading from my brain in the back of my eyeballs. Chastity, you're late. Well, you didn't miss nothing, believe me. The recap is easy. Tracy, she has 4 kids, but only 2 like me. Yeah, I think I could. Dane was so awesome. So Dane went with me. He needed new shoes, and I bought him a pair of work boots because, I mean, at 6, so he stepped on a scale because I wanted to put lace on a scale. He weighed 90 pounds at 16. And that's really big for him. Like, I can't believe he's 90 pounds. He was 70 pounds until he was like 15. But anyway, so I take him shopping to get, and then I said we got to stop and get some. We got to stop at TJ Maxx and look for some of the Ralph Lauren sheets, right? And so I found, and then we went to Ross to buy some pillows, and I found this dress, and I was like, "What do you think?" I don't know. I don't really like the colors. And he was like, "No, Mom, I think that's a great dress. I think you really should." Or shirt. In most places, it's probably a shirt. But he was like, "No, I think it's really good. I think that's good. You know, it's like $6. I think it's a go. I think it's a go." But I mean, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like having a daughter, kind of." And everybody thinks he's a girl. Even the guys, the people that are staying in. He's like, "And your two daughters were working so hard." I was like, "Actually, those are my sons." And he was like, "No, that they were girls." And I was like, "No, they're boys." He's like, "No, they were girls." And I was like, "No, they are boys." And they did the same thing that the imam did, where it like totally rocked the reality. And then, but the imam just like giggled, but he got embarrassed. I said, "Don't be embarrassed. They're used to it," and they are. All this laundry truck, I need to switch mine. That's really funny. Mine to the dryer. Okay. And Missy says she loves, you only love to hear about my family because I'm telling you the truth, so that anytime, if anything ever happens, you don't have to feel bad about yours. You're like, well, compared to Natalie's, I don't mind self-disclosing. It's okay. I'm just keeping it real, baby. Oh, and then Linda said, I come to see you, not to get, I love you. Thank you. After 2 days together, I know you are good people. Yes, we did spend 2 days together at what was it again? Lambtown. Saturday. Thank God. Mary, you scared me because you know that is something I would do. I actually would do that. I would put Friday, I'd like totally blast it out, pay for promotions and everything, and put the wrong date. Why do I know I would do that? Because I've done it. And Vienne, hello Vienne. Oh, and then Darlene, she's a dog and cat groomer, and you're her bather. That's so nice of you. That's a hard work too. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I was going to say something, and I can't remember, but let me think. Let me just go back up here. And I just want to make sure that I didn't make... You'll be in Temecula? I'll be in Temecula for a wedding on a vineyard soon. Snap that one up, too, as I'm sure there's a big crowd. Are you really going to be in Temecula for a wedding? Are you kidding? You better stop by, because if you are going to be in Temecula, I will be very hurt. Because it really will hurt my feelings. Like, if you guys are in Temecula and I don't hear from you, so what you have to do is you have to remind me that you're a Yarnitarian. Because, like, if you were just a person that was like, hey, Natalie, I'm in town, and I just want to know if I could stop by, I'd be like, actually, I know you probably think this is hard to believe, but I actually would. I'd be like, actually, this isn't a really good time for me. But if I know that I've, like, communicated with you, and that seems like not very unwelcoming, but I know this seems hard to believe, but I am a person that puts effort forth to people that put effort, towards me, right? And that's the way it should be. Like, why, I would only do it for people that I think like me and support me, and I would go out of my way to absolutely want you guys. And then I would be hurt if I thought you were in Temecula and you didn't come by. My feelings would be hurt. So you have to let me know. I'm going to be in Temecula. Please don't let me hurt your feelings, because I'm going to be there, but I won't have time to say hi. And then I'd be like, oh, really? You don't have time to say hi? Okay, great. That's fine. That's all right if you want to be that way. I wouldn't do that. I would say, yeah, I totally understand. And then I would say, but come over and I'll show you some of my party tricks, like ejaculating the chicken and taking out my partial and spitting beer out the side of my mouth while my husband opens his. And then it's amazing. I can hit him right. I don't do that to him. Although I do, did I tell you guys already? I probably did, but I'm going to tell you again. I like to suck his tongue. I started doing it with my dog, and then I was like, this is interesting. I think I'm going to do it with my husband, and then I did it. Actually, he asked me if he could do it to my tongue. He was like, let me suck your tongue. I was like, okay, that's pretty hot. And then I was like, let me do yours. And I was like, I think I love this. You guys are like, that's so gross. It's not actually. It's pretty hot. It's pretty sexy and pretty hot. My husband right now is like, could you just not tell them everything? please? I'm like, no, I have to tell them everything. Everything. Okay, so what happened today, you guys? So this is what happened. I got so pissed off. You're like, surprised, she's pissed off again. Actually, that's my normal state, right? The other state is drunk, and pissed off and drunk. Those are my two states. And so I went to the doctor because I get hormone pills, right? So I went in there like, yeah, just letting you know it's going to be $400 because they're denying all claims for this. And I said, okay, so basically if I was transgendered, I could get it. But since I'm just old and don't produce any more estrogen or testosterone, I don't get it. So that pisses me off. Not at them, I wasn't mad at them. And then they said that's just what they're doing. But I do understand. So this is a place that gives you this pellet, right? But they'll give it to anybody. So usually bioidentical hormones started out for people that, are postmenopausal. Ike's like, wow, great conversation, Natalie. But anyway, so that's what it's for, right? But then, CrossFit people and all these athletes decided, wow, how much better I'll be as an athlete if I like, even though I have normal hormone levels, if I up my testosterone. So that's what they give it to anybody, and it's actually called Ignite. This is Ignite CrossFit. And there's a doctor in there, and they just like prescribe them like they're candy. So in my mind, I was thinking, I know what's happened. Like these companies, all the insurance companies have gotten savvy that not everybody needs it. But I get really, I'm skinny already, but I get really skinny. Like I have no muscle tone whatsoever. I can't do my work. So I actually need them, right? So I was pissed about it. And so then they'd called me. They'd run some. I get them every 3 months. And so they'd run some tests exactly 6 weeks after the last one. They test you only every year to make sure they're not like overdosing you on testosterone. And my hormone levels were like perfect, amazing. But they wanted me to come in because they want the revenue, right? They want to bleed the insurance company dry for a consultation after my blood work. And I said, unless I'm dying, I'm too busy. I can't come. So there was no appointment. Let's be clear on this. No appointment was made. They're calling me to make an appointment for me to have my consult. I said, they're going to have to do my consult before I get the next pellet. If you want to go ahead and book 2 appointments back to back, that's fine, but that's the only way it's going to happen. She's like, just let us know when you need your next pellet. I was like, okay, fine. So I hung up. So anyway, so when I go in today, I talked to them and I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to lay down about this because I actually need it. So I'm going to call the insurance company. I call the insurance company. This is Blue Shield. I have a PPO, which I said to this to Blue Shield. I go, basically I have Medi-Cal, which is Medicaid. I go, basically I have Medicaid. Because every single thing that every doctor needs, like an MRI or anything, you guys deny. I haven't had you not, there's nothing that you have actually agreed upon. Everything has been denied that I've wanted for the last year. So what is the point? Anyway, so she says, I don't know why they're saying that they said to me on the 19th, they tried to get it approved and that I was denied. She said, there's nowhere in here. She says, get this. Okay, I was in there to get a pellet in March. I have not been back since. The girl called me in May for an appointment. I told her I can't do it. She says, I see the last time you were in there was May 9th for a follow-up. Yeah. I even had said to the girl, why can't I do a phone consultation? Because the insurance company won't pay for a phone consult. You actually have to physically come in. So they billed them for me physically coming in when I didn't have an appointment, and I told them I will not come in until I need my next pellet. So I didn't tell Jade, who was the insurance person that I was talking to. I didn't tell her that because I didn't know what to do. I went into like a bit of a panic. But she did say this. She goes, oh my God, I'm looking at their billing right now. And she goes, they charged us, get ready for this, $25 for a pair of gloves. Yes, the gloves, the little cheap little, because when they put the pellet, it's like surgery. They like cut you and then they put this little, like a cattle pellet, like an implant, right? So they've used the like rubber gloves, the ones that you blow up as balloons for your kids, and you tie them, and the doctor doesn't charge you $25 for blowing up. I actually was like, oh, I actually said to her, are you kidding me? They charged you $25. I said, waste, fraud, and abuse, my friends. Waste, fraud, and abuse. Like, I actually am like, I'm in a bit of a quandary. I'm in a bit of a quandary because I don't like that. It bothers me. It bothers me. The $25 for the gloves bothers me, and the fact that she told me I couldn't have a phone consultation because they can't charge the insurance company. But if you don't show up, we'll just lie and say you came in. Yep. Don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. Will we ever get to meet your husband? Susan saying, hi, Susan. Skaten Drake 85, don't fear, Bryce Wonders is here. Hi, Bryce. Well, then tell me what I should do about this. Nancy Pearl, I love you. No, Nancy, but it does say on there, if you want to chat, come to YouTube. I love you, Nancy. You're so good. She's a tiny little thing. Teeny, tiny, tiny, tiny. Stitch, Linda Lightcap, I'm not going to Stitches. I'm not doing any more Stitches after this last one. I don't think. And I used to go to sheep shows, but I won the things I needed to win, and I don't do them anymore. It's too, I can't, I don't have time. And then Elizabeth says, can he stop in and say hello? What does he do at his job? He hates his job, and he thinks it's, well, I'm just proud of him. He works actually at Ralph's. He like does stuff in the middle of the night. And then Ike, and then Mandy. Hey, everyone. Hey, Mandy. My husband is very shy. He's like the biggest, he's such a great support. So he's like the perfect husband in the way that he's like he really is my biggest fan, and he does a great job of supporting, like he dropped everything to try and help me find my dog clippers that I couldn't find. Like he was busy out there doing other things that I needed him to do. But he can live with somebody that's as volatile, because I'm pretty volatile. I'm like my dog's blood sugar. That's essentially what I'm like. And I can be very, very volatile because it's just that creative brain. How about I just have ADHD? How about I'm just crazy? Let's just go there. Let's just go straight to I'm just batshit crazy. Like I think we're either batshit crazy outwardly or we're hiding it. That's what I've decided. We're either really good at obfuscating it or we just are overtly crazy. I mean, I'm not crazy. I am completely rational at times, but times I am completely irrational. Like right when I sat down at this before I had my medicine, I was not so rational. I was losing my shit. Yes, I was. But, besides the fact that you're wearing a shirt and trying to call it a dress. Well, in some states it would be called a shirt. In California, it's called a dress. Hello. You're like, then why are you wearing shorts under it? Well, because I don't want anyone to see my down unders, my nether regions. Report the fraudsters. Kate Shreenan says, report the fraudsters. Yeah, but how does one do that? I mean, do I just call and I go, hi, this is Natalie from, and they're, but I mean, how do people, I mean, I just want you to know that there's fraud on so many levels. One is, I'm quite sure the reason why I got denied, apparently, I don't know, even though they say they didn't deny. And when I called them back, the insurance, or not the insurance company, when I called the place back, they said, oh yeah, the insurance companies do that all the time. They say that they don't deny your claims and that there was no claim filed and there was no nothing. But when they start digging, I'm sure they'll find it. Really? Because you told me that you made a call on the 19th of May. You made a call on the 19th of May. I didn't even have an appointment until 2 weeks ago. Do you see? So I'm sure that they're flagged or something before prescribing, because it's not, even though it's not prescription, but I think they've probably flagged for giving too many pellets to too many people. Except that if you're an endocrinologist, she's not. She's just a doctor. But why would somebody flag you for giving hormones? So that's what she does, is she gives hormones, right? So if that's what she does, then why would they flag her? So this is paradox in my mind of why, But I think if they looked at the whole medically necessary, if you looked at my hormone levels, you'd see my testosterone would be at 8, right? Which is extraordinarily low. But if you look at a normal, chick at 28, it could be at 35 or 40, right? Well, they're bringing hers up to 150 because it's making her a superwoman, right? And so I think if they looked at the evidence of that, they would see that it wasn't medically necessary at all. Me, it's arguably medically necessary. I mean, my arms are 8 inches around my biceps, and actually she said to me today, you've lost weight, Natalie. Every time you come in here, you've lost weight. And I was like, well, because it's always the end of the pellet, right? So every time I go in there and it's the end of the pellet, then of course I'm going to look like I've lost weight, because I then don't have as much testosterone, and then my muscle just starts disintegrating. It just disintegrates. I might just become really lean, way leaner than I already am. And I'm already have a really high metabolism and very lean. So that's my medically necessary, is because I become emaciated, and I'm 5'7", and I can get down to 105, 110 pounds. That's pretty thin. Okay, let's see. I've reported a doctor billing for a non-existent appointment. Okay, Nancy, what happened? Call the insurance and tell them you need to report the fraud. They will transfer you to the correct person. Oops, few yards ago, the sheer madness was a thing. You can see now, Tubby there. Oh, yeah. Okay, VN says, few Yarnitarians ago, the sheer madness was a thing. You can see now, Tubby there. Yes, you can. He has dreads. 5 a.m. in this part of the world. Daniela Rodriguez. And then Kate Shreenan says, Schleezy. Yes, it is very schleezy. It is. People are either batshit crazy or boring. Okay, good job, Nancy. And good morning from Beirut. Beirut. Okay, don't Beirut. What country is Beirut? Don't, because I know that sounds really ignorant. Wasn't Beirut? Oh, don't. Was that Patty Hearst? No, I know Patty Hearst isn't Beirut, but I'm saying, wasn't that part of the oh my God, you guys, my brain, I need more pills. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Symbionese Liberation Army. Is that Beirut? Where's Beirut? Let me just ask. I could have just quick Googled it and pretend like I knew that I knowed. But I obviously don't even speak English, so. No, it's evening here, Danielle, isn't it? Okay. Beirut. Where is Beirut? Lebanon? Is it Lebanon? I'm sorry. Now I'm just like seeming like I'm really dumb. Where's Beirut? Can somebody please tell me? Anyway, my husband has dreads. Oh my God. Ike Skapansky says, have you ever subscribed to Ike's Equine? You guys, Ike likes you to subscribe to his Ike's Equine. I think it's cool. Chloe, they shouldn't just lie and say that you came in and let you have a phone. I didn't even have a phone conversation. I did not have a phone consult. She just wanted me to make an appointment. Chloe, like, it's like so fraudulent. Like, I said, you're on the phone with me now. Why can't I make an appointment for a phone consult? Because I'm really busy and I don't have time to just come in unless I'm dying. She goes, well, if you were dying, the nurse would have called. I'm like, okay, so I'm not dying. So then I can't make an appointment. I'm sorry. And she said, okay, fine. Call us when you need another pellet. And I was like, okay. Like, so like total fraud. $25 for a pair of gloves. I mean, I'm just going to go with that is obscene. Did I say hi to... Yeah, I did. I think I did. Chastity, the bombing of Marine barracks is what you might be thinking of. Lebanon. Okay, Heather, oh yes, Lebanon, thank you. I just wanted to, I'm not quite as ignorant. I was like delayed intelligent, though. I had to like make, but it wasn't it was like Beirut. Yes, I was thinking of the bombing. Thank you, Chastity, for telling me, because I didn't know. Maybe another doctor. So maybe I should go to another doctor, is that what you're saying? I probably should go to another doctor. You guys are like, why are we even going through this? This is a stupid story now. Like, just go to another doctor. But like, the idea, what I don't like, I have to be honest with you, I don't like the idea that my life is being, and that it wasted an hour of my day, actually, $400 and an hour of my day on the phone with the insurance, me going batshit crazy over, if I was transgendered, you'd give it to me. But because I'm just an old person who you don't give a shit about, like, the answer is no. And but then she was like, no, we didn't say no because they didn't ask. And I was like, oh. Because then they said that they stopped doing it. They started denying people in January of 2019. And I said, really? Because I got a pellet in March and I didn't get denied. So my point is I think this is Chloe, bring it home, baby. I mean, it's just that simple. That's the answer. It's just that simple. Beirut is the capital of Lebanon. Okay, thank God I didn't say something like Syria. It'd be so embarrassing. Okay, let's see. I called my insurance. The doctor admitted I hadn't been there. But Nancy, like, I'm going to have the whole conversation of which would be able to be verified, the conversation, by how many minutes are on my iPhone. Right? The other thing is, I'm trying to think of this. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So why would we be on the phone that long if I was just having a conversation, if I wasn't having the conversation about why can't I have a phone consult, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody would be having a phone conversation that long. I guess arguably they could say it was because we were looking for an appointment for her, but I didn't get an appointment then. I think the whole thing just is ridiculous. I think it's pretty easy. What I think is if somebody dug, they would find a lot of fraud. I think if you look at the $25 for gloves, you might start being suspicious. So I'm hoping that it's pretty, if I was to blow the whistle, I'm hoping that it wouldn't be for naught, like it would actually be verifiable. Ms. Dahlia notes Patricia Hearst, her 1974 kidnapping and physical violation. That's what you know. Terrorist calling itself the Symbionese Liberation Army. I know Symbionese. What is Symbionese? Symbionese. I'm trying to think of where was that. I thought it had something to do. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it is a long way away is what I will say. And I will have to say Chloe is right. I need another doctor. In Connecticut, you have to see a PCP for a referral. Even with are you seeing in Connecticut? But Linda, you live here. Right? I have a PPO though. You're not supposed to have one, a referral. The doctors require it. No number for the insurance. Oh, that's very interesting. Wait, did you move to Connecticut? Yes, you must have, because that's why you're asking if I was going to go be at the, no, I'm not going. And you know what? I love working for them so much, but it's too much for me. And I really hate being away from my husband, you guys. It's really hard, especially when you know how it is. It's like when I'm totally emotionally dependent on him. Totally emotionally dependent. But I think that happens when you've been with someone for a really long time. I do. I think that, they just make you feel better. Like every time you have a meltdown, they're like there to, unmelt you. You're like, unmelt. Unmelt me, please. I'm melting down. Okay, you guys. So I don't have anything interesting about fiber today. Linda doesn't give a shit. She said, I don't care. It's okay. But I will tell you, I am having the sale this weekend. I did send out, it was yesterday, though, that I sent out the winning from last week. I don't have anything this week, but I'm going to have a better one next week. Does that sound okay to you? Do you guys care? Because I'm going to go through all of my stuff. The zillions of pounds of stuff that I have. And I have to get ready, you guys. I've got to sell so much stuff because I've got to bring a bunch back from England. And that's even really hard for me to do this year. I'm going to get back from New Mexico, because I'm going to New Mexico for stitches. And I'm doing the yarn, dyeing like a pro for 2.5 days. It's one class for 2.5 days. You learn a lot, and there's not that many students in it. If anybody even was thinking about going, they should go, because there's only like 5 people in it. That means like you're going to get a ton of instruction. A ton. Because basically we're together in a room for 3 days. And there's not that many people. And then I'm doing MAFA. Then I'm doing the Mid-Atlantic Fiber Arts Festival. I come back for 1 day and leave right to MAFA. So that's June 25th or 26th I leave. And then the other one I leave on June 21st. So if you guys want to see me there, and then I was thinking I want to do something here for Yarnitarians, like you guys could just come and I don't know. I would love it if people could come, but no, it's just so expensive to fly. It's really ridiculous. Oh, Deanna says we love you. We're gonna thank you so much. And I'm gonna check your instant message. I will check your instant message. Almost missed the. You know what? You came at the perfect time because I'm stopping. You're like, thank God, at least I showed up. She can't say I didn't show up. That's me. I do that. I used to do that with my classes. No, I was here. Yeah, you were there 5 minutes before class. And I know, I was here though. I'm very considerate. I wanted to come into the class, but I was afraid I would disturb people, so I just sat outside listening. See how good I am at making people feel better? Yeah, that's what I would tell the teacher. No, I was outside really. And that part about when you were talking about math, because it's a math class, was riveting. Riveting. Okay, you guys. So, Martha, Skate and Drake 85. Martha. Okay, so listen, next week I'm going to have a big giveaway. I'm going to do something really nice. I don't know what it is. Remind me if I just give something stupid away and go, wait a minute, liar. I'm going to make a mental note in the back of my eyeballs. And then I love you guys. You guys make me feel, because I was not doing well. I was like melting down heavily. If I could just find that stupid sensor and I could find my dog clippers, I'd be so, because I need to put her thing on, her monitor on, damn it. Okay, we will talk to you. I love you guys. Mafa, mafa, mafa. Love you guys. I will see you next week. Be here, be there, be square. Be here, be near.